Hey, so welcome to my video about openers in Ocarina of Time Randomizer. I'm going to be talking about every opener's strengths and weaknesses. Here we're doing the Gerudo Valley Lake opener with Open Grotto. This is as soon as you start the seed in Leaf Forest. You just want to do this backwalk. There's no real cues to it. You just hit this backwalk. The next you want to line up a little bit to the right of the tree and just backwalk. It's really easy stuff. I mean, you could just mess up the lineup. It doesn't really matter. One of the things I do want to say about this opener is it's really slow, but it's the easiest one. That's how I'm going to start off. I'm going to talk about the easiest ones, move on to the more complicated ones or just more really obscure ones. This one is really bad just because it's so slow, but you get a lot of info that all the other openers aren't going to get. So you go in here, you check your hint, get your chest, and then you want to leave. And then you just want to look over there, line up a little bit to the right of the wall, I guess, because I'm sure it's supposed to be a mountain, but whatever. And you just hit your backwalk, and that's it. I mean, that's one of the reasons this is so easy, just because that's all you're doing. You're just backwalking everywhere. Once you get past this little corner here, I like to go ahead and turn around, hit my other backwalk, to hit my lineups, and then here I just like to line up a little bit to the left of the, I guess, arch, and just hit my backwalk, and you can just hold back. Then I like to roll here just because it's faster than backwalking against the wall. And then you just line up with your bridge, backwalk. You want to grab the chicken, and we're going to check the crate. And so here's where this route can deviate, because you're just supposed to do Gerudo Valley and the lake, but the way you grab your hints on the back of the lake will differ depending on if there's an item in the waterfall or not. So once you get your item here, if there is one, you just want to go. I like to hold Z here so I don't move to the left or right on accident. And it helps me just check the waterfall as well, because it really levels the camera with Link here. Once I check if it's an item or not, I either just drop the chicken or I go towards the ladder. So here I'm going to do an opener with no item. You just want to line up with the edge here, and we're just going to backflip off. So once Link gets close to the edge, you can see it because, you know, the edge appears at the bottom of your screen. Just backflip and just start swimming. You can press B, but it doesn't really make a difference. Swimming with B is never really faster unless you're swimming across the lake. So you want to turn right. You want to check your hint, and after you check your hint, you just want to backwalk. You just want to look over there, maybe hit a side hop, you know, for safety reasons or something, and you just want to backwalk. That's all this opener is going to be. It's just backwalks. I'm gonna check my hints, and but I'm not gonna do fishing. I don't have the rupees for fishing. Fishing eats away at your time of day, but just very slowly. And I just want to show that this opener does work. So we get a Foolish Fire Temple. This is the EU Weekly Seed from March 1st. So anybody who didn't do this opener, I don't know where the duplicates of that hint was. So good luck finding that. But so what I like to do is I just like to Z target the wall and just hit a flick to the right, and that usually just lines you up pretty easily. And this is really lenient too, so you never really get fucked by it. So don't worry about having perfect execution. This is very, very lenient. There's just not much to do if you go to the lake after the valley and you don't grab the hints. You have a lot of time of day that there's nothing to do with. Maybe if you want to pair it with early adult because you have that much time of day, but I don't really think it's that good. So you just want to hit those backwalks. The movement in the field in front of me where Pierre isn't very precise either. Like I said, this is gonna be really easy. So I'm just walking and walking out. So after this, you just kind of swim towards Pierre. If you press B or not, it doesn't matter. Mashing gets only 6% faster. So you go here, play your song for Pierre. Yeah, whatever. He talks about Bonneru, the best French player there ever was. And then, wow, I messed that up, but this is good because I'm messing up, so I'm showing you how lenient this can actually be. But you want to do that without messing up. You just want to back walk. Once you're over the hill, line up your next back walk, and you're basically done. After this, you have enough time to collect some rupees if you want to walk into the market and just do your slingshot minigame. But you'll have a lot of time to mess with here in case you mess up. I'll show the time of day when I get to Harrowfield here. So that opener was 5:42, and you have a lot of time of day to work with. After this, you can either do early adult, or you can go ahead and work towards your 3-song route, which is what's preferable. So next I'm going to move on to doing the same opener, but after Deku Tree. So this is going to be the same opener as the one before. This is just after Deku Tree. All you really have to do is worry about your lake hint movement. You're going to do it different just because you're starting off at midday instead of morning. After completing Deku Tree, you have a different time of day. You don't have the morning like when you start to seed. So basically the difference is you grab the hint, you do Pierre, you do fishing, and then you run around the back of the lake, and you'll end up swimming onto the warp pad, I guess we can call it. It seems really slow, but I mean it's not in terms of the opener. It's slow in terms of you're not really doing anything except grabbing hints. But I guess, like I said, somehow a hint could win you the game. So you just want to line up your back walk. I saw that I messed it up, so I did some side hops, which is not even faster, but it's whatever. This is just a tutorial video. This opener is a little bit execution heavy when you get to the lake. I guess you want to have good execution all around, but it's kind of hard to mess this up since you're just doing backwalks. There's a time of day queue that'll tell you how many hints to get, and this applies to the other opener as well. If you are entering the lake right before morning, then you want to do this movement that we're going to do here. If you're getting there in the middle of the night, which is only going to be if there's no item in the waterfall and if you haven't done Deku, then you do the previous lake movement. So here, we just do the same old. We grab the cuckoo here that hopefully won't cuck us. You roll into the crate, you check the waterfall, and you go to the lake. So here we do this, grab it, and we check the waterfall. I know the waterfall isn't going to have anything here, so we're fine. Usually, if it's after Deku and there's an item on the waterfall, you're only going to grab one hint. So this is vanilla, so there's obviously a piece of heart. I see it, I drop the chicken, I roll to the hint. And I didn't check it because I think it has like an extra text box in vanilla, something about piercing into your soul. I'm not too sure. So you hit the back walk right before Link holds onto the edge. Just hit the back walk. Not the back walk, but the back flip. Same thing. I didn't use a sorted jump slash there just because I want this to perfectly mimic an early game of rando. So you see it's barely morning, so this means we do PR first. You check the hint, you want to jump here, and you want to line up in between those pillars, and you're going to want to backflip here and not grab on to the ledge, and just keep hitting that back walk. You'll eventually swim, just go back onto the grassland. Check, oh wow, Rudo's letter. You backwalk to Pierre, play your song. You playing the song doesn't mess with time of day. Whenever you bring out the ocarina, it just sits still, so you don't have to worry about me skipping it there. This is still completely accurate. You want to go into fishing and just do that. So here's where execution kind of matters. You don't want to mess this part up. It's going to be kind of close. If you messed any of the lake movement, if you messed any of it up to this point, then you only want to grab the first hint. If not, you can go ahead and grab both hints. So we just go here, we do the same, we just flick, you run to the back, you check both hints, and then you swim to the warp pad. Sometimes after fishing you'll get Navi for some reason, sometimes you won't. I don't really get how it works. I'm not a vanilla god. I barely know how this game works. I just play it a lot. So we're gonna do our basic movement here. You'll know you're fucked when you're going to the warp pad if the music stops playing before you get halfway through the bridge. But like I said, if you have decent movement, this isn't really that hard to do. This is just pretty easy stuff, especially if you don't mess up your flicks. So now you just swim. You do want to mash B here. I think it makes a slight difference. I'm not too sure. I like to do it just to be safe. And you want to aim for this corner right here. It's shaped in like a weird pentagon slash hexagon, but you just want to aim for your corner here. If you messed up lake movement after your first hint, you just want to swim over to the closest corner to you, and you just want to go here. And as you can see, this is really good time of day. Usually after doing fishing, it will eat up some of your time of day, so you'll have your time of day should be closer to this. But you see here, there you go. So this is going to be a slightly different opener. This opener is going to be Open Grotto to Night Market. It's the same as the others for the first half. You just backwalk and you start working your way to the Open Grotto. People think this one is hard. It's not really hard with the cues that I use. There are some slight differences between emulator and VC that I'll talk about once we start loading the chains. But this is a pretty easy thing to do. This is going to be different from what some people do to get the chains to work, but this is what I find the easiest. You just want to start backwalking. We're gonna go into the grotto and jump out. Now this isn't very precise, and you can't technically lose time in Overworld, just because you get like time because you're gonna have to wait for Talon to wake up. If you do this perfectly, you have to wait for Talon. If you mess up, then it doesn't really matter. Here I'm just lining up with the ranch just towards like the very outside corner all the way to the far right. I'm just lining up with the corner. Like I said, you can't really lose time here because this all just is time of day based just because of Talon. You can lose time in the market, but you can't really lose time here. So you want to aim in between the chains like that, and you just want to backwalk. On emulator, you'll load the chains from a farther distance. On VC, once you get like right here, you just want to turn around and look at the chains and then do the backwalk again. So our cue here is going to be the sign. Once you hit the sign, we're going to backflip. So let's see here, the sign should be there. You backflip, turn left, start side hopping, and then just walk. You want to Z-target this and just side hop twice, and there you go. Then you just want to backwalk, collect your rupees, done. So this is going to be after Deku Tree with explosives. What we're going to do here is we're going to grab the 3 grottos and we're going to make it to market at night. This is actually cool because you grab an extra hint and you get to go to market instead of having to do the Gerudo Valley Lake opener I showed earlier. So you want to go in between the 4 trees, and there's going to be a tree on your right. Once it's over your map, you want to pull out the bomb. So it's over my map, so I pull out the bomb. You walk in, check your hint, grab the chest, and then you want to go ahead and start backwalking to that. Be careful with the tree. You can bonk into it. If you bonk, you're fine. Don't worry about it. There's 2 options you can do here. Once you get into this grotto, you can save to preserve your time of day if you don't think you're gonna make it. But usually It's not something I do, but you can go ahead and do that. So you want to check this. You're gonna start going towards this, pull out your bomb, and then just throw it once you hit the fence. Go into grotto, check it. We're gonna save and quit. Obviously most optimal on emulators, since VC will have to wait. And so now we go all the way over here, and we're gonna backwalk through all of Hyrule Field. Oh, nice. So I'm gonna backwalk through all of Hyrule Field. There's like one queue. There's like 2 queues that you need to follow. They won't be too important. Well, I mean, no, they're gonna be pretty fucking important. Alright, so, you know, you're leaving the forest. So you're gonna line up with a specific tree here in a bit. So you just want to roll, be as optimal as you can. Line up with this tree and just backwalk. Once you feel Link start walking uphill, go forward and immediately backwalk. Alright, now there's gonna be a pile of bushes. You kind of want to line up with them. This opener is kind of hard. You can easily fail it. If you're comfortable with it, you can do it, but if this is something you think is way too hard for you, I would just stay away from it. So you want to line up with those bushes right there. Okay, so you see the sign, so just turn and just side hop here. Be really careful not to load the bridge. Do your 2 side hops, and there you go. Now you just do your usual talon stuff. So this is going to be the same as the one before, but this is before Deku. This is just grabbing the 3 grottos and going to Night Market. So all you really want to do here is you hit your backwalk, you line up with the trees, and you're golden. So you look in between the 4 trees. Once the tree is over my map, I pull out my bomb. Okay. So then you line up like that. You can do the 2 side hops to avoid bonking, the ones I did right there. But I mean, you don't really have to. It's somewhat slower. So you just continue doing your backwalk. We're going to the grotto. Okay, and this is, I guess, where things are somewhat hard. So you go here, pull out your bomb, throw your bomb. Okay. So here, you want to just roll over to the fence, Z-target it, flick left, and just start backwalking. And so here you're just gonna backwalk, and we're doing the same, just doing Schrodinger's chain. We load the bridge, aim in between the chains. Super simple stuff. Nothing too hard here, nothing that you should be worried about. So we're just waiting on the backwalk, and I don't know how precise this is. Really, this is my first time hearing about it since Arthur posted the video like an hour or 2 ago. Again, on VC, you want to look at the chains a little bit closer, because VC doesn't load them from as far as emulator does. And so now we just continue to hit this backwalk. Once we see the sign, we do the backflip and side hop. Sign, backflip, start side hopping, reach here, 2 side hops, nice, and that's it. So here we're gonna do what I think is the most popular opener right now, and it's basically you just go to the open grotto and you go to the owl and you grab the hint there, and you grab the owl at the lake and it'll take you to market. So I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna link a video by Arthur Houdini. He has a very detailed video on how to do it, but it's really easy. You just do your usual backwalks. Really, it's super easy. I think the only hard part is having the movement for it. It's not super tight, but it is like pretty tight. So you come in here, you just want to flick right as soon as you land, and you just want to hit your backwalk, back flip, side hop. Like, you can do this with somewhat like bad movement. I think like maybe newer players would struggle with this, but I think as long as you're, you know, like an average OOT player, you should be able to do this. And you just want to backwalk for a bit. Don't be scared of falling off. You can backwalk for quite a bit. And you just want to check to make sure you're not going to fall off after a little bit. Well, let's see if I still make it. I probably could. Oh, I don't think I'm going to actually. Oh, nice. So yeah, you can just be really bad and still make it. So right here, I'm going to go for one of the better openers. This opener, I believe, is what got me into top 32. I did it in every single one of my quals. It's not really well known. We call it Gerudo Valley Egg Rush. So basically what you do here is you go straight to market before Deku. Like, you get straight out of the forest and you go straight to the market like you're gonna go to early adult. But we're gonna check our 4 hints. We do the slingshot minigame. I'm gonna skip all of that, you know, for time purposes. But basically we're just gonna grab the egg. Once we grab the egg, that's it. That's all you want to do. So we're on our way to grab this egg. Now this opener is the best if you get if you go to your 4 hints and you get Gerudo Valley Way the Hero and Lake Baron. But this opener is just so good, really. So okay, so we have the egg. So now we leave. And we start making our way towards Gerudo Valley. Alright, so now we're on our way. And I think the backwalks don't really matter that much. They're kind of hard. So you want to line up with that outer edge over there and just hit your backwalk. So basically what we're going to do here, once we get to Gerudo Valley, we do the box. We do the waterfall. And we take the owl. And by then our eggs should hatch. And we'll start our 3-song route. Pretty simple stuff, really. You never do open grotto when you do this opener though, so don't be expecting to do it. You're gonna do this opener and just completely skip open grotto. You can get it later with like Epona, so it's not really that important of a check when you're doing this route. But as you can see, my time of day is already looking really good here. So we're just gonna keep back walking. And if you couldn't tell, this is actually the time of day that you get when you do Gerudo Valley Lake after Deku Tree without the grottos, which is pretty cool. I think you get here like a couple seconds earlier, if anything. It all really just depends on your overworld movement going to the market from the forest. But yeah, you just do this, and it's a regular opener. You could do the lake here if you wanted to. You have the time of day for it, but I don't know, man. It's season 3. You can just skip the lake. So you go here, but like the downside to doing the lake is you can't do Long Long Ranch at night after ZL, so there's nothing there. So we just check our hint, and then we just start leaving. And so you'll see the time of day is going to be perfect here. So do our backflip, equip our egg, and that's really it. That's all there is to Gerudo Valley Egg Rush. It's one of the better openers. I don't think there's a better opener than this out there. It's personally my favorite. You save a lot of time not being a open grotto dweeb. So you check this. I mean, you could potentially... Oh, I fell. I mean, it doesn't really matter here. You could potentially skip the slingshot minigame and hope for a market baron hint. And if you don't get the market baron hint, you can just do slingshot minigame when you go back to the market. But here we just talked to Knocked Owl, and he just takes us straight to the market. And that's Gerudo Valley Egg Rush. So I thought I'd show how to do this with one crate and no sticks, since a lot of the openers won't give you any sticks. So you just want to like make sure the parting of Link's hair is lined up with this little L shape in front of him, and you just want to climb. You want to hold up for 2 frames exactly. In VC, just flick up and it's free. Just flick all the way up and let go really quickly, it's free. Same for emulator, flick all the way up and let go, but just hold it for a tiny bit. So that was way too short. If you mess it up, just Z target, hold back, and just go forward. And so you can keep failing it like that, and it'll be faster than one crate. It doesn't really matter. That's what you want it to look like. You want Link's foot to be just, the right foot is just kind of over to that Hylian letter, and you just want to hold up and A at the same time, and there you go. So it's pretty free.